Now that the game is over, now that it's been played, Mississippi State won 7-3. We all know that. Has the fan response been what we thought the outcome of the game would lead it to be? Or is there still, because of how it looked, that level of discomfort and wonder if things are going to possibly head in the correct direction or not? Like, what did that win actually do to Mississippi State fans at large?
That's a good question because obviously, we talked all week like, hey, they need to win. Arnett can get a lot of credit with the win. And then the game happens and you watch it and you're like, this is miserable. This is not what, Mississippi State football is supposed to be. When you think about the offseason, what was said about Kevin Barbay and big plays, explosive plays, gets his best players out there on the field, and you just see, they just keep putting the tight end on the field who there's no way you can convince me that any of Mississippi State's tight ends are in their best 11. I cannot be convinced of this. So, that's just one of those things that the coaches tell you in the offseason and then it never comes to fruition. So, yeah, I think it was great to get the win. And it could be a situation where we look back in a few weeks and let's say State finds a way to beat Auburn. They beat Kentucky and they're 6-3, and you're like, all right, they're figuring some things out here. But as it stands today, people are just like, I still am not on board with Arnett. That's the overwhelming sentiment because, like, this – you can't play football like that every week and expect to win. 7 points isn't going to win another game this year, I don't think. So, I think Arnett, it's good to get the win, and it can become something that B builds upon. But right now, people are just looking at him going, what the heck is going on?
And then now, so would you say that the Auburn game is like the exact same basically as Arkansas?
Yeah. I would.
Like losing it would feel really bad.
You would just, whatever momentum you did have, you give it right back. You lose to Freeze, which I think State fans would like to beat him. And then just, like I said, Auburn has been the worst offensive team in the conference this year. And if you can't go over there and put up enough points to beat them, then how do you expect to put up enough points to beat almost anybody else in your schedule? State may have to grind its way to victory the rest of the way for whatever wins it's going to get, but it has to do that. And this is going to be an ugly football game. I would be amazed. You think about 2 years ago in that game at Auburn and State with the huge comeback and a lot of points on the board, a lot of big plays. I don't see anything like that happening in this game. I think if either team is going to win, they're going to escape with a win, would be how we describe it on Monday.
Yeah, I hear you there. So, interesting stuff, because I kind of felt like, and I was clearly wrong, that a win would calm everything down. Kind of hasn't. I mean, if it had been like 17-3 instead of 7-3,
right.
Maybe so.
If they don't call back the long touchdown run by Mike Wright, and then State makes that field goal, and it's 17-3, then you're like, look, you went on the road. Arkansas is a pretty good defense. They held Alabama to 24 points. They held Ole Miss to 27 points. Really, they held Ole Miss to 20 points because there was a pick six in there. Like, that's a pretty good defense. 17 points, you did good. But 7-3, you're just looking at it and you go, well, now I know how Auburn felt when they won 3-2. We've been on both sides of that coin now.
Hey, but is that kind of redemption? Is winning 7-3 a little bit of redemption?
It would be redemption to do it this week.
There's a chance that you keep Auburn off the scoreboard completely.
There is. If you could, and I did an interview today for the podcast with the guy we had on last week, Adam Cole, and I asked him, I was like, if Auburn, if you can slow down their running game, can they score? And he gave a really good detailed answers, but the short answer is no. If you can limit Auburn's running game, if you can limit Hunter, if you can limit Ashford, and you force them into throwing situations, they can't do it, and you'll beat them. So that's got to be State's primary focus is we have to stop and slow down that Auburn running game. That has got to be the message Zach Arnett and Matt Brock are giving their players this week.
We get one message here that Richard's handicap must be awesome. No, honestly, it's not.
That's the best part. He takes all these days off, but he still sucks at golf.
Somebody says the Arkansas win was pitiful. Fire Arnett. I don't know if it's.
Nah.
I don't know if you're there yet.
I'm just. Yeah. They're going to let the season play out. I'll just go and tell you that. Nothing's going to happen along those lines. I promise you that.
Does Hugh Freeze being at Auburn do anything for State fans at all? Is that a thing?
I think they would enjoy beating him. It's just, because, as it stands right now, the last game Freeze ever coached at Ole Miss was State 55, Ole Miss 20. That's a great way to send off a guy you didn't like. But, yeah, I don't think they would mind getting another win. I think it's more about Cohen, to be honest with you, with State fans. They want to rub it in Cohen's face.
And man, the Auburn reaction to a loss to Mississippi State after a loss to Lane Kiffin would be something.
I asked about that, and their fan base is delusional is the right word, but they are unhappy in year one, and I'm just like, what did y'all expect? You know who did them a disservice? Everybody at Media Days who didn't pick them last in the West.
Yep.
Should have helped them out.
Because that's exactly.
By the way, if State wins this game, they will not be last in the West.
No, they won't. No, they won't. That will be
wrong again.
That will be Auburn, as we all picked that